That's just like deeply what I sit with the most. You know, and just like I can go buy my food no matter what. You know, I'm like, I can just like be safe in my reality. My human existence isn't threatened. And so many folks are so threatened. Like, so how can we like in our like wokeness and our like these awakened communities or whatever we want to call them, like how can we just like humble out a little bit and like let go of these problems that we take so seriously about, you know, I don't know. I mean, it does go into the questions of course, like equity and equality and how we're thinking about resources in our communities, but I don't know. I just noticed that people are just too attached to like what's theirs and like what their ideas are and what they feel entitled to. And I struggle with that a lot, you know, and I feel, yeah, like it's just the guilt. Why, you know, am I feeling guilty like that I'm not like in la lucha, you know, I'm like not in that struggle, that I'm not like frontline fighting.
I'll definitely make sure we circle back to that.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know the answers. That's my own internal process, you know? But,
Well, it's always, it's refreshing to hear from leaders that you know, because so many people look up to leaders for the answers, and it's challenging to hear. And at the same time, it's refreshing and personally empowering to hear from leaders that are really doing the work that they also don't know, and we're all just trying. We're you know, putting one foot in front of the other to make the impact that we're trying to make. And I think it's really important for us to drop into that as we meet our own, you know, mentors or people that we look up to, that we're all really in this together, the figuring it out day to day, how to live a more solution-based life and balance the influences of our, you know, we could say, you know, negative impacts or, you know, less regenerative impacts of our choices, and that it is a daily work. It's a daily work. Every day we get to make the decision as to you know, how are we going to live our ethics today? How are we going to, you know, and sometimes we don't. And it's those days that we don't, that we get to recognize that I am that too, that thing that I judge.
Yeah, exactly.
I am that thing that I judge. I am that too. I am the, you know, the cause of the taboo as well, you know, and by recognizing that, it helps release us from the binds of the taboos. I think it allows us to be more authentic in our choices, because everyone has a consequence, and when we do something that is for or against our ethics, our intentions, our greatest wishes, the highest good, whatever we want to call it, you know, every time we make that, we get to evaluate it and use that as a stepping stone for our next decision. And how, you know, and not to get weighed back by the imperfection of any given decision, but rather that they continue to be that with which we grow from, you know. And that's a big thing I've seen listening to, you know, that panel talk we just had with some of the community leaders here that have made mistakes, and they've made, you know, they've had to make adjustments, and they're still learning from it. And so many people look at the leaders of these big projects as not having done it perfectly, but honestly, like, they're making a bigger effort than almost anybody else to at least try and to mistake enough to get some things right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.